Tom Kelly, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here for the Mark Lipsky Comedy Night. The only thing missing is Mark Lipsky. Now, Mark called me yesterday and said, I'm sick, I'm not going to be able to make it, so do without me. And I said, all right, he's a comedian, so there's going to be a time when Mark flies in right about now with, piano strings, suspending him above the floor, or he's going to come in the front door as Santa Claus, but it's not a bit. He's actually sick, and he's not going to be here tonight. And I'm really sorry for Mark because he put so much time and effort into these comedy shows. He had all kinds of stuff planned for you. So, as a matter of fact, he's not here tonight, but we are recording tonight, and he's going to be watching tonight's show. So, Katie, can we turn on the house lights and get everybody to say, "Get better, Mark," because he's going to watch this tonight after he wakes up from his nap. And so on three, get better, Mark. 1, 2, 3.
Get better, Mark.
That was great. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, Mark, on your feet and get better. Get back on your feet again. So without any further ado here, let me bring up our house announcer, Amanda, and we'll get the show going. Thank you all for being here.
All right. Thank you, Tom, and welcome to the Kelly Center. I'm Amanda. Thank you for joining us for this very special event. Of course, we have complimentary coffee and bottled water in the back, and we appreciate your donations. Do we have any first-timers in the room? People here for the first time? A few. Oh, okay, but a lot of regulars, yay, but some first-timers as well. If you're not familiar with Kelly Music for Life, we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and our mission is to promote music, the arts, and community. We feature art and music you won't find anywhere else in this area. We're in the New Avenue Cafe, and its last day is tomorrow, December 18th, and we'll be looking for a new cafe operator in 2023, so stay tuned for that. Our artist of the month, with all this beautiful artwork up here for the month of December, we're featuring the work of Bev Benson, and Bev is actually here tonight. So, yeah, and phenomenal artwork. So definitely take a look around at that. Funding for the Kelly Center is provided by Haverford Township Civic Council, the radio agency, JMC Fund, the Connolly Foundation, and your contributions. If your company would like to support our work, contact us at kellycenter.org. If you'd like to make a cash donation tonight, we have donation jars, or you can use Venmo at Kelly4Music. That's the number 4. Under the business tab, and for PayPal or credit card, just go to kellycenter.org and click contribute. In the notes, type comedy, or use the QR codes on the donation jars. Joel Perlish is our house photographer. He's the guy with the camera. Yes, he does a wonderful job. And he loves taking snapshots of people all the time. Yeah. Yes, Joel, what?
You'll probably remember this bit from before.
Yeah.
Photographers
don't take snapshots. I'm sorry, Joel. Okay, so photos from every single Kelly event are on the photo link on our website. We have over 20,000 photos. At the Kelly Center, BYOB is permitted. We just ask for a $5 per drinker donation to help support the venue. We have a bluegrass jam here, free to attend and participate with Alfred Poor, first and third Tuesday every month at 7 p.m. Some upcoming shows. Next Friday, we have Danny Murphy's Christmas Star Vocal Competition and New Year's Eve on the Down Low with Ben Arnold and his band. You can buy tickets for these shows and see the entire event calendar at kellycenter.org. You can also sign up for our newsletter for email updates at kellycenter.org at the bottom of the page. Some housekeeping things. The restrooms are in the hallway there. The hand dryers are very, very loud, though, so please use towels during the show. And, of course, you can step outside for a smoke or to take a phone call. But here we go. As Tom said, Mark Lipsky is under the weather. We hope he feels better. But stepping in to handle the MC duties tonight, please welcome to the Kelly Center stage in Havertown, Pennsylvania, Jay Yoder. And thank you to Jay for filling in at the last minute.
Oh, keep that going for Amanda, guys. Let her hear it. It's a lot of announcements. I'm so grateful I didn't have to make any of them. No, this is great. Oh, my God, Kelly Center. a lack of diversity in Havertown. Ew. Don't worry, we got it here. We got some amazing comedians tonight. You guys, clap it up if you've been here before. All right, good. Then you know Mark does a great job of bringing in different talent every time, and you're going to see a great cast of characters tonight. You know the deal, though, right? We silence our cell phones. We do all of that nice stuff, right? This looks like a conversation, but unless we talk directly to you, we don't want to talk to you. Not that we don't like you. I'm sure you're very nice people. This guy looks like trouble, though. So he had nowhere. He tried to sit with the comics, and then I'm like, sir. He's like, well, you're going to pick on me? I'm like, you bet your ass I'm going to pick on you. What's your name, sir? Garrett. That's a strong name. Garrett. When is this your lovely wife? And what's her name? And how long you been together? 15. Clap it up for 15 years of marriage. 15 years of marriage. What's the secret to success here? Don't talk to each other? Oh, my goodness. We're going to... And how long have you been married then? Amen. Give it up for divorce. Yes. I'm now nervous. I'm going to have to call my wife after this set, guys. I'm scared. No. We're going to have a lot of fun today. I'm used to handling big crowds. I'm a teacher by trade. I've been 18 years a public school teacher. Thank you. Yeah. I got to tell you guys, the last couple years, though, I've been killing it. By it, I mean my soul. Yeah. And the mute button on Zoom, guys, before the pandemic, it was fine. We used to get nice little gifts around the holidays, like Dunkin' Donuts gift cards. Then you all had to deal with your kids for a couple years. And you wised up, because now we get wine and spirits. So, hey, it takes a village and a case of Cabernet, guys. That's what I found out. Yeah. No, it's great. Actually, I've been at a middle school recently. Do you guys remember what middle school smells like? Oh my goodness, can you imagine? In the morning, don't get me wrong, it was like Macy's. You had like Bath and Body Works, right? Axe body spray. But then around 1:34 p.m., the hormones settle. They smell like the onions on an Italian hoagie, guys. I'm gonna miss the mask mandates. I used to double mask in the afternoons. Looks like we got a couple of my students over here. You're going to learn something today, guys, just so you know. They're like, yeah, we're on YouTube, buddy. I think we've heard it all. No, kids are different today, though. I don't know if you guys, where are my parents at? Clap it up if you're a parent in here. Got parents? All right. Any kids in high school? Parents of high schoolers? All right, yeah, you know, the slang. You guys keeping up with the slang? I had a kid the other day. He came in. I moved the desks because it was a test. So he went in full panic mode. He's like, "Bruh, there's a test today." I'm like, "Did you just call me bruh?" I'm like, "If you were stopped chatting up Olivia and worried about what you're wearing all the time, you would have known there was a test today." This kid looks at me and he's like, "Nah, man, you're just hating on my Riz and my drip. This is sus." Your Riz? Your drip? Dude, one more out of you and you're suspended, all right, Captain? I had a girl come up to me the other day. She's like, "Mr. Yoder, can you just give us all multiple choice questions next time?" I just looked at her and she's like, "You know, the kind of questions where there's 4 options and one of them's the right one." "Yeah, sweetheart, been doing it 18 years. I know what a multiple choice question is." I said, "I'm puzzled because do I look like a DJ? I'm not up here taking requests." I said, "Do me a favor. Go get $100,000 in debt and a couple master's degrees, and then we'll talk. Until then, just go sit down." Yeah. No, these kids are different. I gave a kid the right answer the other day. He looked at me and he's like, "Oh, Mr. Yoder, bet." Have you guys heard this one? I pulled out my wallet. I'm like, "It's payday, Jimmy. What are we talking? I'm going to cover the spread on this one." He's like, "Mr. Yoder, there's no gambling in school." I said, "Yeah, that is a little sus, I guess." But what I've decided is I'm going to start using lingo, guys, that these kids don't understand. "Mr. Yoder, what time's class over?" "Quarter of." That bull lost an afternoon, guys. I was like, I bet you won't figure that one out. No, it's tough because, these kids do stupid things, and then I have to go to a meeting about it. Right? We had a meeting, and thankfully it was on Zoom, but it was about THC training. You guys know what THC is here in Havertown? Yeah, pot. Yeah. And newsflash, these kids aren't rolling doobies anymore, right? There's vapes, there's edibles, there's pens. I just don't know if everybody had to be at the meeting, guys. Our 70-year-old librarian, Mrs. Jenkins, she now knows what a gravity bong is, all right? But what they were telling us is the kids are doing these kind of challenges, right? They're seeing how much they can get out of school to go to the bathroom and do a dab, which is a concentrated form of THC in this little pen. Have you guys ever tried a dab in Havertown? This is one. She's like, oh my God, I've never had anybody admit to it. Well, what we're doing at my school is we're doing something called restorative justice. So we don't want to punish the kids. We want to help them cope. As long as it's not serious, right? You can talk smack, just don't cook it, But personally, I'm behind restorative justice because if we're going to get through this school year, guys, it's going to take a lot of confiscated THC. So, no. But what I realized is, these kids, they have these challenges. They're not the challenges I remember. I used to sneak a turkey hoagie into math class, and when Sister Doreen wasn't looking, take a few hits myself. Or like on half days, how many plates of food could I take down at the Golden Corral buffet? The answer is 13, in case you're wondering. But here's the deal. These guys have been filling their void with pot. I've just been filling mine with brisket. Both are amazing smoked. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. But I'm trying to see if it makes me a better parent. I have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. And I think the challenge I'm realizing is keeping these kids off a screen. Right? Can we agree with that? The technology out of hand, my wife and I, we got a Peloton recently, and then like 2 months later, it told us that it identifies as a clothing rack, so technology. No, but we've been doing something at my house to keep them off the screen. We've been doing board game night. You guys have any favorite board games you like to play? Part cheesy. Boulder Dash, I like that. That's a good one. Monopoly. My daughter, my 6-year-old, she pulled out Guess Who the other day. Have you guys played Guess Who? Have you played it in 2022? Daddy, is your person a girl? Ooh. Gender is a construct. Really, it's on a spectrum. I did not ask their pronouns. Well, Daddy, is your person Asian? Oh. Sweetheart, we're going to have to wait for the 23andMe to get back. 7 to 10 days FedEx. Guys, we played for 3 hours and could not turn down one single tile. Yeah. She's like, Daddy, can we just play Monopoly? I'm like, look around, sweetheart. We can barely afford Baltic Avenue, all right? She's like, what about Candyland? I'm like, oh, yeah, call me King Candy and Gumdrop Mountain over here. Nope, instead we dumped a bunch of weapons in the living room and we played Hunger Games. Yeah, no. Actually, I lost the battle that day is what I'm getting at. I ended up giving her a device. I gave her a dab. We called it a day, guys. My oldest, I'm actually a special needs dad. Any special needs parents in the house? No. Oh, really? I was going to say, we usually don't get out of the house, so it's very special for us. Yeah, she was in first grade during the pandemic, and we had a note come home. It said, Alicia's been using the F word, but she's using it appropriately. I'm sorry, appropriately? Like, fuck this fucking pandemic? It was was this good news or bad news, right? Good news, she's autistic. We didn't think she was ever gonna speak. You're telling me she's using fuck appropriately in the first grade? That was an honor roll certificate that day, guys. It's like, where's my bumper sticker? My daughter curses on a 7th grade level. I don't know, guys. We have a great show. I'm not going to delay it anymore. We have 9 amazing comedians coming at you. Let's get some energy. Let's clap it up. Let's hear it for them. This first comedian, up-and-coming, amazing co-founder of Next in Line Comedy in Philly. If you're in the city on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night, they have an amazing show with up-and-coming talent that you would see on Comedy Central, on Netflix. He's amazing. Please give a warm welcome for Tyler Wolf.
Good evening, everyone. I don't mime my whole set. I do speak. I'm here. I'm a little low energy. I went out drinking last night, and let's just say I was technically also drinking this morning in a way. Yeah, I went to bed at like 3 in the morning. I'll try to bring it up for you guys, right? Yeah. Anyone went out drinking last night? Probably not, looking around the room, but you're like, I had 1 glass of wine and then I passed out on the couch. It's like, yeah, you sound exactly like my dad, everyone in here. But I feel like I've been here before. Oh, you just audit that? You're like, oh, fuck, you nailed it. That's exactly what happened last night. God damn it, was he peering through the windows? How the hell does he know? News was just still going, and I was just on the love seat, just chilling there forever. But I always like coming to perform here because I feel like there's always so much wisdom in the room. I just feel like I could learn so much from everyone in here. Just shout it out. What do I need? What's the trick to drinking? Limit it. Wrong. Always more. That's the answer, right? No. You're so concerned for me right now. I don't know. I like to drink. Drinking's a good time. I mean, it's a social lubricant. It can be helpful. This woman just fucking downed her bottle right there. Oh my God. You're like, yeah, let's keep it going. She spikes it. Just does it does the can against her head. She's pulling them out. Wow, that's awesome. But I think my favorite part of drinking is when you wake up the next morning and you're not hungover. Does anyone else get like proud of yourself? You're like, I fucking did it. Let's go. And then you go to drive your car and you're like, oh no, wait, I'm still drunk right now. That's what it is. Yeah, 10 in the morning. Can't find your car, you don't know. Yeah, that's a rough spot to be in. You can't find your car from the previous night, which implies that you drove it while you were drinking. I don't know where I parked, but I definitely drove it somewhere, but not sure where. I don't know. That's like an interesting call when you wake up the next morning. You got to call your boss and be like, yeah, I'm going to be late today. And he's just like, what, are you hungover right now? I'm like, not yet, but I will be in the afternoon. I'm still drunk, but I'll get there. Don't worry. That hangover is coming, but... Also, I thought it was interesting when Jay mentioned the lack of diversity. Someone cheered for that. Someone was like, woo, yeah, build the wall around Havertown. I don't think anyone wants to come here anyway. I live in Philadelphia, and I was like, oh, 30 minutes, Jesus Christ. Let's fucking speed, get it over with quicker. But I don't know. People made noise. Like, how many parents again? There's a lot of parents. Yeah. Okay, not as many as I would have expected, actually, I'm going to be honest. But I figured everyone in here has probably got like 4 kids just looking around. Someone said what?
7.
You have 7? Yeah.
No, my mom does.
Oh, your mom has 7.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gotten busy. She's been quite busy, yeah.
I'm married.
What is your mom's number? I'm kidding. She's 50? I don't discriminate. I'm not ageist. Yeah, thank you. Someone's clapping for that in the back. I don't know. Do you feel like this about your kids? I feel this way about my mom. I feel like my mom loves me very much, but she has no fucking clue who I am as a person whatsoever. Like, not even in the right ballpark. My mom recently got me a gift, and it was a calendar. And every single month, there was a different picture of a leopard in the wild. I was just like, what the hell is this, Mom? She was like, you love leopards. I was like, I guess Mom knows best. I guess I like leopards now. Let's just go down that route. But here's how little my mom knows about me. 2 weeks ago, I woke up to a text from her, and it just said, hey, Ty, hope you weren't in the shooting in your neighborhood last night. I also love that that's not a phone call in my mom's book. She's like, oh, there's a shooting near Tyler. I'll just fire off a text, see if he responds to that. But if he responds, I know he's okay. So I'm just gonna send a text. But then she sent a link to an article that described an altercation inside of a strip club. I don't think I give off big strip club energy. But apparently to my mom, she's like, 2 things I know about Tyler. He likes big cats and big boobs. That's what I know about him. Those are his favorite things in the world. But the funny thing is, as I read the article top to bottom, this was a Tuesday night. There was an altercation. Guys pulled guns. They started firing. And my mom read the article and just went, oh my God, that sounds like Tyler. Every Tuesday night, he loves to bring his gun to the strip club. I really hope his pet leopard is okay through all of this, but we're struggling through this. We're praying for Tyler. But Jay was talking about middle schoolers. I was a menace in middle school. I didn't know how to dress myself. I'm not exactly doing great right now, but But back then, it was even worse. Every single day in middle school, I used to wear swishy nylon pants. Do you remember those things? That you could fucking hear them coming a little bit. Just, yeah, it's not. I think that's why it took me so long to get my first kiss. It's just that sound. No one's ever like, oh, I think my Prince Charming is around the corner right now. No, that is not the sound of a winner. That's what I know is from that. But I think it's parents are to blame for bad fashion in kids because they're the ones buying it for them. And I remember my mom. Anyone ever do this for your kids? My mom used to buy us sweatpants for the winter, and then come the summer, she would just take a pair of scissors and just say, "There's your shorts for the summer." Sweat shorts. That is the ugliest thing. Least comfortable in 95-degree Philadelphia summers. My balls dropped when I was 7 just because it was so hot. They're like, we got to get out of here. This is way too much to deal with. But it's also not a good look. I remember in 6th grade, we were learning about World War II, and there was a picture of a victim in a textbook. And someone looked at the picture and said, "Oh my God, they have the same shorts as Tyler." The person in the picture was a Holocaust victim, and I'm Jewish. And so I remember in that moment just feeling like, oh my God, I have never felt more connected to my heritage than in this moment right now. Mom, I understand why we are wearing these right now, but never forget. That's right. I got to wear this every summer. But you guys tightened up on that. They were my shorts. That's the part that you tightened up on, the shorts, I'm sure. I do. I care a lot what people think about me, but I don't know. It's weird as a stand-up to care what people think about you because we're constantly getting judged like all the time. But I care like off stage way more than I care on stage. Here's how much I care what random strangers think about me. If I go into a public restroom and there is urine on the toilet seat, I will clean it off just so that the next person doesn't think that I did that. Isn't that insane behavior? I see a couple people nodding. Why the fuck do we do that? That is insane. As if we didn't, they'd walk out into the, hey, I found the asshole who's been doing it. Yeah. It's in every bar in America. It turns out it's that guy right over there. He's a monster. We should avoid him for sure. But I don't know. I care a lot. But the problem is when you care what people think about you, end up being too nice to them. And sometimes it's better to be honest than it is to be nice to someone. Because I've realized by being too nice of a person, I've ended up with like a lot of accidental girlfriends. Anyone else like not know how to have? Everyone's like married of 30 years here, but I just don't know how to have a one night stand. I'm too nice. I'm always just like, all right, I'm gonna head out. You want me to meet your parents? Yes, let's do that instead. That sounds like a great idea. That's actually what I had in mind anyway. So I'm just gonna let's be nice for a long time. But like my current girlfriend, she doesn't even like me at all. It's a weird situation. Like my current girlfriend, she absolutely hates that I call her my current girlfriend. She's not a fan of that. I don't think people in here would be happy if you're like, yeah, this is my current wife right now, but we'll see where it goes from here. But no, she really didn't like me. One time, my ex, she walked into a room where I was watching TV, and she just went, ugh, I cannot stand the way you breathe. Which was a little bit disheartening because like my two biggest guilty pleasures in life are inhaling and exhaling. So it's just like, just always going to annoy her. It's going to be tough. But I don't know. I feel like your past relationships kind of influence what you look for in your next relationship. So now I'm actively looking for a long distance relationship. I feel like they won't be able to hear me breathe as much. So that might help it a little bit. But I have a friend who's trying to talk me out of it. She's like, you do not want a long distance relationship. Just think about it. You see the person like once a month, no emotional connection to them whatsoever. And all you do when you see them is you just have a bunch of sex. And I was like, that is the greatest sales pitch for a long-distance relationship that I have ever heard. I'm signing up for one right now. I'm going to find one. But you guys have been awesome. I'm Tyler. Keep it going for Jay.
Keep that going for Tyler Wolf. Heck yeah. Oh, my God. He actually requested to go on early because he's actually the strip club DJ down the street. So I was like, I heard him practicing chastity on standby. So, but that's not who's on standby here. This next guy, you're gonna love him. He's originally from Southwest Philly, lives up in University City now. You can see him all around the city making people laugh. But he's here tonight to make you laugh. Please welcome to the stage the very funny Drew Thomas.
Come on, June. You got this.
Thank you. Oh my God, don't mind me. I was just taking in the diversity, man. Well, I'm loving the demographic of this room, man. It's like a chessboard with nothing but white spaces. And the Asian one in the back right there. Yeah, rock on, sister. And I don't know, are you a brown space? You talked about 7 kids, and that's Puerto Rican shit. Don't mind me. I'm a little bit in the spirit. The very high Christmas spirit. Yeah. So this is where y'all moved to? I'm in Southwest chilling, and my mom moved in. She's like, "Oh, it used to be a lot more vanilla, and now it's white chocolate." Okay, I beg with y'all. I'm loving this. Y'all ain't, I made sure I know where the exits are, just in case I say some shit y'all don't like. I mean, real shit. Like, I was a little nervous. I don't know if y'all saw me shaking over there.
You're doing fine.
Thank you. My half Puerto Rican sister. Holy sugar cookies, man. Oh, man, the Eagles doing great. Go Birds. Yeah. One of the things I love about the Eagles in football, you know you're going to see some black people there. Not Haverford. Oh, shit. Y'all remind me of the friend I got that told me I need to check out the new Ring of Power and the Game of Thrones joint. You know what I mean? No?
I've seen that.
You seen it? I know you seen it with all 20 of your kids. You know what I mean? She said, no, that's my mom. That's my mom. Yeah, I was watching. Amazon Prime got the new thing. It's called Ring of Power, and it's based off the Lord of the Rings shit. And I put it on because my friend was like, "Yo, there's black people in there." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I watched Ring of Power, and I was really, really disgusted with my decision because the black dude looked like Samuel L. and Django Unchained, man. So I'm like, yo, I ain't trying to see that shit. That's fucking with my psyche. So I put on Game of Thrones, and then I was happy as hell. You know why? They got black people with white hair, with dreads. I didn't know we could do that. So I'm on board. These boys, they riding dragons. You know, these brothers was riding dragons. Could you imagine trying to get pulled over by the cops on a fucking dragon? Ain't no way. I mean, I didn't mean to. You look like the cop that pulled me over the other day. I'm sorry. But for this bit, like, you know, brother white dreads on the dragon and, you know, badging the bull saying, you know, fuck the police. But, you know, in his British accent, my brother, fuck the police. Sorry again. I didn't mean, y'all pull back a little bit on that. I saw people clapped about drugs earlier. Any marijuana enthusiasts over here? Yes, no? Are you really a cop? That's why they're not clapping? I know, sis, I got you. Yeah, I mean, well, don't tell nobody. One of the things about me and weed is I hate the fact that when I get high, I get easily tricked. I get high as hell, I get easily tricked. The other day in Southwest Philly, I'm chilling at home, smoking my favorite strain of weed, Golden Grams, when my sister hit me up. She's like, Drew, you need to get over here. I'm like, why? Got your favorite dish? What, chicken wings? Yes, chicken wings. So I'm in Southwest Philly, taking about like 10 minutes to get all the way down to South Philly. I get to the door. My niece opens the door, comes to try to give me a hug. I kick that little bitch, right? Sister try to give me a hug. I give her the Heisman, and I make a beeline straight to the table with the food. I get up in that bag, and I'm going in there. I'm like, okay, all right. Shrimp lo mein, that's supposed to be for my niece. Shrimp roll, I guess that's for my niece. Yo, sis, where's the chicken wings? Where's the chicken wings? Where's the fucking chicken wings? She was like, oh, no, they forgot to put the wings in the bag. Watch your niece for a little bit. I'll be right back. I ain't see that bitch for 3 days. I got tricked into babysitting. My name's Andrew Thomas. Thank you for your time. Have a good night.
Keep that going for Drew Thomas. Heck yeah. Do you guys know that marijuana is recreationally legal in like New York City? Do you guys know that? It's crazy. I bought a package of gummy worms recently, but it said like 600 milligrams on it. I didn't pay attention to the metric system growing up. I don't know about you guys. And I know what a joint will do to me. I know what a bong rip will do to me. But 600 milligram gummy worm, guys. 2:30 in the morning in my daughter's princess fort, wondering if I was really alive. And now I'm holding this beautifully packaged design, like a loaded weapon in my house. I'm like, I got small kids. What am I gonna do? You know where I put it? I have no idea. I'm asking you guys. Yeah, I was like, I will say my autistic daughter is making eye contact and talking up a storm, so I might have solved that puzzle piece, guys. I don't know. I'll have to ask this next guy's opinion. He's a doctor. He's a primary care physician in media. You're going to love him. Please welcome to the stage, Dr. Aaron.
Thanks, everybody. I was going to make you guys wait a good 20 minutes before coming up on stage, just to prove my authenticity. But I will be giving free prostate exams in the back just to prove it. So, growing up, my family had a motto, and it was, going to the doctors is for quitters. Turns out, going to the doctors is for people with health insurance, and we didn't have it. But my mom did have her own set of healthcare rules. They were as follows: shut up, walk it off, and I've seen worse. Now, these aren't things I like to say in my day-to-day practice unless the situation calls for it. And these rules of my mom's, they were for everyone, not just the kids. They were universal. Everyone wants universal health care, just not my mom's version of universal health care. You know, if I was sick and felt like I needed a day off from school, my mom would tell me to shut up and get in the car. Shut-ups are universal. They require no prior authorizations. There's no referrals. And shut-ups were built into my mom's healthcare system. If you were injured, you were told to walk it off. And if the injury was a little bit more serious, my mom would take a nice long drag on her cigarette. Tell me I've seen worse. Just don't bleed on the carpet. Now, I shouldn't pick on my mom. She grew up on a farm, and her level of empathy was a little bit, I guess, warped. You know, if there was a sick or injured animal or like a chicken with a broken leg, my mom's job would be to come up behind it, break its neck, defeather it, gut it, and serve it for dinner. So when my mom told me to walk it off, you know, I know she wouldn't, but I always gave a little look-see just to make sure she wasn't coming up behind me. My stepdad, he was there too. He was just a man of few words, and if you asked him for advice, it was usually in the form of a parable. And I'll share my favorite with you now. So the organs of the body, they all got together, and they were trying to decide who's in charge. And the brain said, well, you know, I make all the executive decisions, so clearly I'm in charge. And the heart said, no, wait a minute. I supply oxygenated blood, So without me, none of you guys could work. Obviously, I'm in charge. And the rectum says, now I eliminate waste. Obviously, I should be in charge. Now all the other organs started cracking up. They thought this was hilarious. The brain, the liver, the lungs, even the appendix. Nobody even knows what the appendix does. All start laughing. And the rectum said, fine, I quit. And he stopped pooping for a month. The brain gets sick and the body starts deteriorating. The heart has to work harder. And then finally the organs say, fine, I quit. Rectum, you win. You're in charge. The body poops and everything goes back to normal. So what's the moral of the story? You don't have to have the biggest brain. You don't have to have the biggest heart. The person in charge is usually the biggest asshole. That's my time. Thanks very much. Happy holidays, everybody.
Give that up for Dr. Aaron. Did you see him with the fist bump, guys? I thought we were back to living life like 2019. What happened? I was telling my wife the other day I'm going to propose a bill to re-enter society because I don't know if we're all ready yet, you know? I saw a guy in his car by himself, windows up, mask on. And I just thought that, like, maybe this guy should have to, you know, answer a few questions and pay a small fee. And then, like, to pass the test, he's going to have to, like, greet another human being in front of me, right? Because we've been flashing political gang signs, right? We get the elbow of equality, right? The friendly fist bump, and the dirty whore, guys. I don't know about y'all, but I'll never forget my first post-quarantine handshake because it was like the first time I had sex without a condom. I was nervous. I couldn't make eye contact. It lasted just about as long, guys, so. I pulled out early. Don't worry. I feel like we're safe. So I'm going to take up Dr. Aaron on the prostate exam. Garrett's after me. So we'll just start a line of queue around there. But while that's going on, we got a great guy coming up. He performs at Punchline. He performs at Helium. You're going to love him. Please give a good round of applause for Damon Lilly.
Thank you. Keep it going for yourself. You could also use that line if you walk in on somebody masturbating. Yeah, I didn't know all you nice people were going to be here, so I didn't create a clean set. So I'll do my one clean joke. It's an impression. I've been working on it really hard. This is my impression of a snake trying to save his relationship with Cynthia. Cynthia, what about us? Thank you. All right. So I got an ex, and she just won't get the picture, like won't take no for an answer, that it's over. So she keeps texting me, you know, these long, drawn-out pictures of her pussy. Yeah, she thinks it'll get us back together. But yeah, it's like a state map, like Pussissippi. But yeah, we don't end up getting back together. I just end up downtown in a half demolished hallway eating a roast beef. She's got the meats. So as you can tell by that last joke, I'm single. I'm dating. I'm on the dating apps. I'll start with Tinder. If you've been on Tinder for a while, you know it's not just about the matches. Eventually, you want to invest in some lighter fluid and just end it. I actually found a new dating app. They will match you based on your blood type. So I tried it. And I'm O positive, but every woman I matched with was A negative. Bitch.
I'm O negative.
Thank you. I think that was the biggest laugh so far tonight. Yeah, I'm addicted to playing games on my phone. My favorite is Bumble. If you don't know, it's a dating app with like a honeycomb aesthetic. But there's a lot of bees that have been hurt buzzing around on Bumble. So the object of the game is not to get stung by the herpes. The herpes. Yeah. I think the most important thing with dating and relationships is to find your favorite role, you know. And I found mine. I found my favorite role in a relationship. And my favorite role is the fupa. Ladies, don't take it the wrong way. I love it. I roll it up. I got fupa roll up. I bend her knees back. I got foop by the foot. And I mean, if she squirts, then that's just a gusher. Yeah. Yeah, the pandemic had us missing a lot of stuff. Me personally, I was missing raggedy strip clubs. That was my favorite pastime. And you're probably asking, how do you know if you're at a raggedy strip club? Lucky for you, I will tell you. It's cheap, you know. There's cheap drinks, light liquor, dark liquor, breast milk from the pregnant strippers. And I mean, then there's the girls. These girls are a little rough, like rough. Like this is where pet rescue people would go if they needed a stripper for the family. But they're good girls, you know. You wave $1, they'll jump right up in your lap, tails wagging. Who's a good little whore? But yeah. Ironically, the last stripper I rescued, she didn't even like dogs. Even though she showed up to my house with 2 smelly pits. Yeah, but the number one way you'll know you're at a raggedy strip club, there'll be a stripper named Cookie, and she will have a thong full of chocolate chips. Thank you, Damon Lilly.
Keep that going for Damon Lilly. You can catch him and Tyler at Baby Dolls down the street after, so you notice they're not in the room at the same time. Somebody's got to keep the door running up there. All right, guys. This next guy's a local favorite. He lives like 1.5 miles from here. So if you don't like his set, you can follow him home. I don't know. No, he's a great guy. You're going to love him. Please welcome to the stage, very funny, Perry Block. Woo, yeah. From up the block.
I'm sorry to start off on a negative note, but I got some very bad news today. The test results are in, and it turns out I'm 7 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon. I'm also 72 years old. Yeah, it's a great distinction of survival. But when I was younger, I thought when you got older, you were totally fine with being older. I thought by the time you were 72 years old, you were completely into it. I thought when I'd be shaving in the morning, I'd look in the mirror and see someone who looked like the late Larry King and think, yep, that's me. I'm bald, I'm wrinkled, I'm desiccated, and unable to attract even the most marginal of women. And then I'd go into the bedroom and masturbate to Judi Dench. But it isn't like that. I look in the mirror now and I see somebody with thick hair, smooth, supple skin. And then I go into the bedroom and masturbate to Judi Dench. At least I was right about that part. Something else about being older I didn't count on is shrinking. You start shrinking. I ran into an old family friend last week and she said, "Boy, I haven't seen you in so long I remember you when you were this tall. I'm a Jew. Any Jews here other than Tyler? That's not bad, but if I'd said that in Lower Merion, the place would have erupted like Times Square on New Year's Eve. It's tough being a Jew. I was with my rabbi the other day, and she said, Perry, unless you mend your ways, you're at significant risk of smiting. Because that's what our God does. Smiting. The Jewish God, the God of the Old Testament, is often not such a nice guy. He flooded the entire world. He killed every man, woman, and child. And what's worse, he went to this guy Noah and said, Noah, build me an ark, a giant ark, all kinds of cubits, build me. What the fuck was God thinking? He knows Jews aren't handy. Noah must have shit a brick. All throughout history, Jews don't know a hammer from Hammurabi. How many Jews, here comes a joke, how many Jews does it take to screw in a light bulb? Anybody know?
10.
I'll take any joke if it's better than mine. I'll use that. One Jew to screw in the light bulb, and all the rest of us all around the world to marvel that he can. Although I do think I know why such bad things happen. It's not that God is bad or evil. He just doesn't view it as a full-time job. I'm also shy. How shy? All through my life, people have been saying, you've got to come out of your shell. Come out of my shell? I'm looking for an even smaller shell to climb into. But there are some pluses to being shy. You never fall behind in your reading. If you go to see Penn and Teller, they always pick you to help with their act because they know how much you want them to make you disappear. And if somebody says to you, shut the fuck up, everyone will know that he's the asshole. You ever happen to be sitting at your desk or whatever and your hand kind of drops down to your waist where your navel is and you think, why not stick my finger in there? And then you happen to pull your finger out and just bring it up to your nose and you go, oh my God, what furry woodland creature died in there? And then you keep checking it. Can't be as bad as I thought. Can't be, oh my God, it is. That can't be. I imagined that as, oh no. And then some of you, maybe not you, but other people might go, honey, is this as disgusting as I think it is? Ah! One good thing, though. If your wife or husband will smell your crummy navel, they really love you. Thanks very much.
Keep that going for Perry Block. Heck yeah. And we gotta wish you a happy Hanukkah. Hanukkah starts tomorrow. I don't know if all of you are aware. I grew up in a Jewish, I'm Catholic, but I grew up, well, not anymore. I went to Catholic school. Long story. But I grew up in a Jewish neighborhood. Actually, half the neighborhood was Orthodox Jewish, and the other half was a black neighborhood, and then just me and my parents in the middle. But I will say that people would say, well, Jay, was it dangerous? I'm like, it was 80s Scranton. I wouldn't say it was the Bloods and the Crips. It was more like the tenants and the landlords. But, I actually dated a rabbi's daughter. I used to Shabbat her shalom in the temple parking lot on Fridays. So I know all about the Day of Atonement. So, well, our next comedian, guys, you're in for a treat. So we have two big-time headliners. The first one coming at you, she's amazing. She was just at the Borgata in Atlantic City. I have the honor of opening for her in Comedy Cabaret in Doylestown on the 28th. She's been on The Tonight Show. You might have seen her on Seinfeld. You are in for a treat. Please, let's get it clapping for Miss Anita Wise.
I love you too, whoever you are. Oh yeah, it's that season, right? Where everybody's happy, Happy holidays, or as I call it, the annual Stress and Cholesterol Festival. Everybody holding up okay? You're out here. This is a very healthy thing you're doing. Just get out, take your mind off things, because it can be stressful. Hanukkah's starting tomorrow, somebody just mentioned, and bad memory. I went to my first Hanukkah a couple years ago, and it was very nice. You know, it was lovely. They lit little candles, sang a little song. I made a wish and blew them out. just trying to help, you know. So I saw my first live nativity scene of the season, and that was apparently a pretty progressive congregation, because I had never actually seen the birth itself depicted. And it was like, all right then, all that hollering, oh my God. So anyway. So yeah, it's been a very stressful time, and if you're feeling stressed, we have lots of company. I actually Googled this, like, is everybody more stressed now? Yes, we are. As a group, as a country, we are stressed. And I actually thought about, you know, maybe I need to talk to somebody, just, you know, clear the air in my head a little. And I went online and actually Googled, like, therapist and stuff. I don't know if you've ever done that. It's pretty daunting. There's so many names. You don't know who's who, whether they're any good, whether they take insurance, and they all specialize. Drug addiction, schizophrenia, anger management. And I'm like, whoa, I just have low self-esteem. My problems aren't good enough. It's like, I have to work this out myself. So I've been exploring all different ways to, you know, relax and chill. I tried yoga, and when the lockdown happened, I discovered online yoga, and I said, that's so much better. I don't really like the studio, being in the studio, because it's extremely quiet. Not unlike this room. Okay, you know, it's like, it's very much like that. And, you know, you're supposed to be relaxed and everything, but if anybody's body makes any kind of noise, everybody hears it, you know. And it seems like they do everything in their power to make you make a noise. You know, they got your butt sticking up in the air, or you're on your back hanging onto your ankles with your legs apart rocking. You know. That one's called Happy Baby. It's like, it looks more like Happy Husband, but I didn't name it. So I didn't like it because my body cracks a lot, and you know, you can hear it in a quiet room. You know, like I move my neck, it crunches, or my elbow, my back. I don't care really. I make money on the side as an exotic dancer for the visually impaired. So, you know. But it's all right. It's good. I do it at home now, and I like it better. And it helps. Like I get a little toned up. You know, like when I stand up, it doesn't take as long for everything to stop moving. You know, it's like this is better. So, and well, it finally happened. I finally had my turn and had COVID, and in October, and that was the best weight loss plan I've ever been on. Oh my God. 9 pounds in 7 days. That was like, I was like emboldened. I was so happy to see that. I was like weak, but I managed to fish out my thin jeans that live in my closet. Oh, hi, everybody. So, anyway, some of you have thin jeans in your closet. They're jeans you bought, like I did, in a fit of entirely unfounded optimism. Mine came after a 5-day stomach flu. Looking at the scale going, oh, I'll never gain this weight again. Then I had a drink of water, and it's like... So I kept the jeans, you know, because hope springs eternal. They're for historical reference, actually. You know. But I fished them out. I thought maybe, you know, and I actually got them on. I'm not saying it was easy, but I did it. I got the zipper up. I even had the thing button closed. I couldn't breathe, but that's not the point. I was in them, okay, you know. Of course, the skin above it looked like I was smuggling a Shar-Pei puppy, you know, but this is attractive. came in handy at Halloween. Hi, kids. So it was nice to see another baby boomer up here, and I know there's some others out there. And welcome, fellow non-fertile people. It's an interesting generation, ours. You know, we've gone through a lot, and we faced some challenges our parents never did. You know, like when your dealer dies. Didn't see that coming, did you? No. So I'm so happy it's legal now. I'm in New Jersey. You can just, it's like, the dispensary is just so fun. I mean, it's just like, I'm like standing there going, I love the future. This is amazing. This is better than I ever even imagined. I mean, I don't use it all the time. I just like to, use it to relax. And, whenever they go low, I get high. It's like, that's how I deal. So, but I know I'm getting older. I can hear me say things that only older people say. Like, I had a hip replacement. I actually did, and that was it was right before COVID, and I didn't know COVID was coming, but I just wanted to get it over with. I could have gone and gotten other opinions and shopped around more, but I just went with the first place, Home Depot. It's like they were having a sale, installation included. It's like it's working out. Sometimes it squeaks, but other than that. There is a side effect that's kind of embarrassing, though. Whenever I have sex, my neighbor's garage door opens. It's like, so that's bad. Oh yeah, aging. It's very interesting. It's they say it's like second childhood, but it's actually more like second puberty. Really, because your body begins to do things it never did before. Like when you become an adult, like in your 20s, all the way to your 50s, your body gradually evolves, but it doesn't radically change. It's just like you start off in your 20s, your body type is mid-century modern, a lot of clean lines, shiny surfaces. By the time you hit your 50s, it's shabby chic. There's upholstery and distressed surfaces, but comfy though. But man, then you hit your 60s and things change. Yeah, things happen. Like you grow things, like I had these little things springing out of my neck. My dermatologist said, don't worry about those. Those are just skin tags. You get them from friction from your clothing or your jewelry. I'm like, great. Now I'm pilling. It's like, this is good. Like a cheap acrylic sweater. And like Barry said, I lost a half inch of height. I don't know where it went. Pretty sure it came out of my neck. A lot of extra neck lately. And I'm not enjoying it at all. I look down and it's like there's a small scrotum forming on my clavicle. I'm like, this is not attractive. I try to look on the bright side, like, what's good about this? And I realized that if I go like this, I look like Mitch McConnell. This concludes the political portion of my show. So yeah, it's a weird time of life, but I'm dealing. It's fine. I'm single again after 25 years, so that's new, and it's an interesting thing because, like, I feel exactly the same as before. I feel all like Mom Milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they say, Milkshake, honey, that's insured. Okay, it's like, but I'm doing all right. I was like. I signed up for a senior dating site called Brittle. Yeah. And it was very interesting. I was very surprised at all the single available men my age that completely repulsed me. It was like, oh my God. This is what I get? Oh, jeez. I didn't even know if I could be single again. You know, it's like it was so long since I was single. I don't even know how to date anymore. I used to be able to get my husband pretty excited with just 3 little words. I made meatloaf. I hope that still works. I don't know. But there's all kinds of like things that have happened since I was single, and one of them is there's a lot more grooming in the nether region. You know what I'm saying? And I've never dealt with that. You know, I have primordial forest down here, and I don't know. I was a little worried about that. Like, I hope I don't have to do that. That would be bad. Maybe I'll get grandmothered in. I don't know. I hope. That's not something I want to deal with. But I did Google it just in case, you know, it's going to have to. They do little patterns now with the hair in the front. Little heart shape. There's a little Hitler mustache that's very popular. I don't know what that's about. I decided if I have to do it, I'm going to do like a downward arrow. And a tiny tattoo this way to the buried treasure. So I've had some fun dating adventures. Like I dated a guy with a tattoo. For me, that was pretty hot. I never had that before. And he had been in the Marines, and he had their motto on his arm, Semper Fidelis. Well, you really couldn't read it that well because he had tried to remove it. It just says syphilis. So, that's what he told me, anyway. It's hard trying to find somebody to date, though, for me, because, like, a lot of men my age where they have beards, a lot of facial hair, and I'm not into that. I mean, I don't mind if you have it. I just don't want to be involved. You know what I mean? So it's like, just don't want that. And I don't know, a lot of them have like just this part, just the baby beard. To me, that indicates a little lack of commitment, you know? It's like part of your face is clean, part of it's beard. Anyway, I don't know if you've ever kissed a mustache.
I have.
I figured, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. Did you enjoy it? No, me either. You either got people, if you want to know what it's like, if you've never done it, this is what it's like. You just take your toothbrush, moisten it a little, shove it up your nose. It's like, that's kissing a mustache. Listen, hair is in your nostrils, and you're like, nah. No, thank you. So I'm dating someone nice now, and it's. Thank you. I feel like there's closed captions or something here. Like, what's happening here? Oh goodness, it's a lot of pressure being single because you pretty much have to look good all the time. You never know. Any minute you could just round the corner, bump right into Mr. You Might Do. You know, I just ad-libbed that one time on stage, and it kept getting laughs. And I said to another comic, I don't know why that joke is, like, it's not even a joke. It's just something I said, and they laugh. And she went, oh, Anita, it's just because you sound so desperate. Like, great. So, yeah, it's, you know, it's hard. You have to try to look good. And there's plastic surgery, of course. You can do anything now, change your sex. It's a fair degree of flexibility, I think. Do you ever be dating somebody and while you're dating them, they realize they're gay? You ever have that? Happened to me one time. I was very young. I was in high school, and I was dating a college freshman. Woo! And it never got real far because, well, I thought it was because he respected me. That wasn't it. He went from me to large, buff, gorgeous black men. I was like, and I figured, you know, there's a compliment in there somewhere. It's like, so at this stage of life, you know, there's a lot more single women than men. And I was thinking, yeah, I wonder if I could be gay. You know, it's like that would certainly expand the dating pool for me. I thought about it, and I thought, you know, I've only ever had sex with one woman, and it was pretty hot. But that woman is me. So I think we're pretty much back to square one. So there's a lot of that that goes on. I don't like the medical term for it, masturbation. Ugh, it sounds like you're not chewing your food right or something. I prefer the French, ménage à moi. And I was thinking about it, like, why is it such a taboo subject still? You know, it's like people get squirrely about it. And I think I blame religion for that because a lot of them disapprove. I'm not sure why, but they actually call it self-abuse. That's severe. I mean, I think that's got to be a transcription error. I do. I think somebody was transcribing some, you know, sitting in the Middle Ages or sometime with their little candle and their quill, and they meant to write self-amuse, and got a little typo there. So, yeah, I think if the creator really didn't want us to do that, they wouldn't have made it so we could reach, you know? I think if you actually think it's self-abuse, you might be doing it wrong. Try turning the hairbrush the other way. Just try it. I think that's why the T-Rex was so mad all the time. I think he was mad about that. Yeah, so it'd be cool to change your sex. I think, like if I were the creator, not to second guess God or anything, but I would have made it so everybody had all the parts, anything you wanted, you know, that would be cool. That would really expand the dating pool, and that would eliminate so much, you know, everybody would be everything, and that would calm everything down, I think. You meet somebody you get along with right away, it's plug and play. It's like, give a whole new meaning to the phrase, go fuck yourself. Good idea. Oh, goodness. Yeah, so I'm trying to adapt to dating in this modern world, and I'm finding that I have to change my style for older men. It's not quite the same, you know, like lines that used to really work well don't have the same effect. Like my guy picked me up for a date, and I said to him, I'm not wearing any underwear. He thought I forgot. Do we have to go back? The thing that was really weird, though, we were at that stage of the relationship when you're kind of trying to reconcile your fantasy of who each other is with who they really are. And they say things sometimes that like don't jive with the little pretty picture you had. You know? The first time we were gonna, you know, get jiggy with it, there was a concern raised about the possibility of me becoming pregnant. Excuse me? Do you need to see my AARP card? It's in my wallet. I mean, I could have been gracious and just said, you know, I use natural birth control. It's called menopause. I don't know if you heard of it. I could have just said, you don't have to worry about that, but I'm a comedian. It didn't come out like that. It came out like, pregnant? For me to become pregnant, your sperm would need a master's degree in archaeology, okay? It would need a miner's hat and a pickaxe just to navigate those long, unused passages. Forget getting through the uterus. That's a she shed now, okay? Just strictly storage. If it even found an egg, I promise you it's fossilized. Oh, God, terrible thought. Me having a baby. He'd be born, he'd already be 38. Oh, God. Okay, just one little last tip before I go. If any of you do use birth control, like condoms, I want to warn you about novelty condoms, like specifically the glow-in-the-dark ones. They really work. When the lights are out, you can really see it. All of a sudden, your man is Luke Skywalker with his lightsaber. It's a really bad idea if you have a cat. Thank you very much.
Keep that going for Anita Wise. Heck yeah. You want more? You can follow her on all the apps. Okay, Cupid, Tinder, Hinge. You can find her everywhere, apparently. No, the novelty condom, that thing's real. I took some students every other summer before COVID. I used to take kids abroad to help them, see that. I didn't realize some of them were going to try to study abroad while we were there. I did find one of the young girls looking at the condoms in Paris, and her boyfriend was on the trip, and I saw her picking one out that looked like the Eiffel Tower. It's like, I saw Chris, you might want the Napoleon one over there, sweetheart. Not on my watch. All right, well, this next guy is a Delaware native. I think it's his birthday coming up, so we'll have to say happy birthday after his set to him as well. You're going to love him. Please welcome the very funny Steve Kane.
Hey, it's you guys. Nice to see you guys. I didn't know you guys were going to be out here. You know I was going to be out here. Just perfect destiny. And you guys look like a classy audience, and I'm not a classy comedian at all. So I got myself prepared. I have a swear cup right here. So if I say any cuss words, I'll put some change in the cup, and I'll give it to the sound people as like a gift at the end of the show. So we'll give it a try. How the hell are you guys doing tonight? Yeah. So there we go right there. There we go. Good stuff. Good stuff. Great crowd. I love this town. This town's beautiful. It looks like it came from like a Hallmark movie or something like that. It's like the kind of place where a girl from a big city comes down for Christmas and falls in love with a townie and quits her job and just stays here. Like probably that lady over there that's been talking the whole show. I can see you in one of those movies for sure. But anyway, I like making prank phone calls. I don't know about you guys, but I like making prank phone calls with dire consequences. Just prank phone calls that just ruin people's lives. Like, did you know that you can call Child Protective Services on anybody? They have to come out and they have to do an investigation. It's crazy. Just any time of the day, just anybody you want to. You can just call this guy right here. I don't even know this guy. I could call right now, 1-877-PA-ABUSE, and say that he drop-kicked his toddler in the face. I don't even know if you have a kid, but I'm going to find out. They're going to come out right through here and start asking you questions. It's crazy. I mean, I had a friend, he had a kid who was 17 years old, 364 days. It was 11:59 p.m. He was about to turn 18 years old. And I called the abuse hotline, and I told him that his parents were molesting him. And by the time the cops came out, it was too late. He was 18 years old. He could legally fuck his parents if he wanted to at that point in time. And with that, but you can call animal abuse hotline. Let's say you have a neighbor with like an annoying pit bull. You probably do. You just feed the pit bull some chocolate and just call the animal abuse hotline. They're gonna come take that dog away. And what's the dog gonna do? The dog can't speak up or anything like that. It's just a done deal. You know. You can call. Conservative Christians have a hotline. It's a 24-hour pro-life hotline. So I like to call that after I've had a big meal and my belly's sticking out. And they will stay online with you any time of the day. They'll try to convince you not to get an abortion. You can just keep them going for just hours and hours and hours. And if you have two cell phones, you can call Planned Parenthood on the other cell phone. They're trying to convince you to have an abortion. So it's kind of like having like a devil and an angel on both shoulders, you know. Eventually, you just put those cell phones together and you just let them fight it out. It's fun. Suicide hotline. That's really fun because suicide hotline, they can't hang up on you. No matter what you do or what you say, they can't hang up on you because you kill yourself and they get fired. You lose their job. So you can be a piece of shit. You could be a complete racist piece of shit. You could call them up like you're Kanye right now. Just be like, hello, I don't like Jewish people. There seems to be a lot of Jewish people out there. I don't know what to do about it, so I'm just going to commit suicide. And like the right response on the other line would be like, well, you're a racist piece of shit. Like, go ahead and kill yourself. Hang up the phone. But they can't do that. They have to stay on the line with you and just be like, I'm sorry about all the Jews. I apologize. We tried to take them out before. Maybe we can try again in the future. Just don't give up hope. Just don't kill yourself. You know, it's fun. I mean, I used to just run down my block and just throw cats up trees and call the fire department. And they would just ride around just trying to get all the cats down. I don't know why. Cats don't even ever... You ever see a cat die in a tree? They come back down. I used to do the Good Samaritan phone call, which is I would go on the road that's like 50 miles an hour, and I would drive 55, and then just pull myself over, call the cops, let them know I went past the speed limit, and have them come and give me a ticket. It's a weird thing. I don't know. I just do weird stuff. You guys ever seen a movie before? A movie? You ever seen one? Yeah. I've seen movies. I love movies, man. I watched them to the very end. I watched the end credits and everything, the whole thing. And you know, I realized like who never gets like credit at the end of the movie? The guy who makes the credits. Like it's bull. Like you got like, you know, just the names director, producer, editor, all the people that starred in the film, all the way down to like the guy who brought the coffee, and you never get the guy who wrote the credits. He's just in the back of his studio somewhere in Hollywood, just all day on a Macintosh 83, just typing away for hours, just for every movie, just writing down the name of everybody who's in it, and you don't ever see him, you know. What I did was, what'd you say?
I was in the movie.
What movie are you in?
I don't know.
Well, I want to do crowd work, but you just gave me nothing. I don't know. You could be in my movie, because I was thinking about how cool it would be like if we dreamed in credits instead of like having cool surreal dreams. Like you just went to bed and like when you went to sleep, you just saw credits just in your head of just everybody you saw that day. Just Susie Q brought you the coffee. You know, James Cameron walked his dog, whatever. Or like maybe like after you die before you go to heaven or hell, probably hell. But like you just have to watch the credits of your entire life for hours on end, just the credits of everybody you ever met in your entire life. It's just like at the very beginning, it's kind of cool. It's like, oh shit, like that's the guy who played my dad? I didn't know that. But after a while, it would get like really, really, really tiring after a while. I don't know. What movie were you in?
I don't know.
You're in my movie, the Hallmark movie, remember? The one where we fall in love?
Yeah.
Because you moved down here from your busy corporate job, and I taught you about the humbleness of a small town and how to like milk a cow and stuff. And then we look. You see this ring? It's gone. 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 We'll talk after the show. We might have 5 minutes up here, but I'm gonna have an hour down there with you. That's for real. You know. I have an idea for a movie. I don't know if you guys are gonna like it or not, but it's like a horror film. It's kind of like a zombie film, and basically the plot is every female on the planet from the ages of 12 to 35 years old, all their menstrual cycles sync up at the same time. I don't know why. Like Leo's and Moon, Scorpio's rising, whatever, but they just all sync up in the same 3 or 4 days. They all PMS at the same time. Yeah, I know, right? It's just chaos. They don't know what to do. All we can do, just like a zombie film, we have to just take them out with just headshots. We have to take out the head, you know? We set traps. We throw dark chocolate over there and like a copy of Hocus Pocus on DVD, and we get them all together, and we take them all out. Any ideas for like a name for the movie?
Hormones.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. Yeah, I'm going to head out. My name's Steve Kane. You guys have a good night.
Sorry, guys. My wife just texted me. Child and Youth Services just showed up at her house. Guess we won't have a 5-year-old kicking them in the head in the morning. Yeah! I'm going to take the night off, guys. I'm going to let them keep them for the night. I don't know. All right, guys, this next guy, you're in for a treat. We got 2 more comedians left. This next guy, though, wrote for Boy Meets World, which was like my childhood, so I'm excited. He wrote for The Tonight Show. He was a winner on the original Gong Show. You're going to love him. He's a favorite here in Havertown. Please welcome to the stage, Steve Young.
No manners. I'm a little tired. I just flew in it and on the red eye out of Bryn Mawr, and it wasn't nonstop. We had a 3-hour layover at the Lanyard Diner. Try the cheesecake. Anyway, I had a whole bunch of material written for tonight, and then I watched everybody else who was on, and their stuff is way better than mine. So I figured instead of doing my material, I just do theirs again. All right, here we go. Hope it works again. Okay. I love music here. Okay. I'm Tom Kelly. And Mark Lipsky isn't here tonight. So, all right, 1, 2, 3. Get better, Mark. Okay, I'm also Amanda. Any first timers here? Okay. We're 1RCV X3 Batman sign organization. If you want to donate, you can use Venmo, and we'll also send you trading cards of my career through my administration. They're very good. I'm your favorite comedian, better than Washington. So Garrett, why aren't you sitting over there? The comics. Okay. We had a meeting at my school on THC. I don't know if you know what that is. It's the Happy Coochie. The Happy Coochie. It was just for the 5th grade girls. To go. Okay. You know what the trick is to drinking? Open your mouth. Otherwise it gets all over you. So there was a shooting at my neighborhood strip club. It was really tragic because I can't dance there anymore. Okay. I have a Holocaust joke, but I'm not stupid enough to tell it. Thank you. Although they really go much better in Scranton. Girls I date always want me to meet their parents. And really, how many trips to the cemetery can you make? Because they're old. I explained that. There's really not diversity here. A lot of people, Drew, I don't know if Drew and Damon have the same problem, but a lot of people say, I'm really not black enough. And there's a really good reason for that. My mother is white, and my father is white. So I'm entitled, but I expect to be more entitled. It's my political joke. Although the black girls do like me, because you know what they say: once you go Steve, you can never leave. And that's because after I fuck them, I lock them in the basement. Yeah, you know, that's what they say. Love begins with, you know, a basement and a padlock. You know. I ought to check on them. It's been a few weeks. Hey, the Eagles are doing great. Although not as good since Glenn Fry died. It's kind of a sad joke. Dr. Aaron said that there's prostates in the back exam. I didn't just know they were in my back. They have to do it. Okay, I don't do any impressions, but I do one. It's my neighbor, my upstairs neighbor, Ed. Hey, Steve. It's Ed. How you doing? Okay, I'm not going to do that one. All right, I was thinking of doing all my great pussy pussy gushing jokes. But Damon did them already. So. Sorry it's a little late. Tonight I was back there thinking of Judi Dench for about 15 minutes. I had to clean up after. I didn't get a hip replacement like Anita did. I did get a back surgery, lumbar. Actually, I didn't get the expensive one. You know, they have back surgeries, pretty expensive. I took the one where they removed my spine entirely, and then they took the stick that was up my ass and they just shoved it up, you know, to replace it. So there's a lot of splinters there. By the way, I've been chasing Anita for years. Isn't she funny and beautiful and okay. And I've been trying to hook up with her, but she said that I'm 20 years too old. And he said, seriously, I'm 30 years too old. I won't do that either. I've been dealing with a lot of extra hair down here. But what I did was shape it in the shape of a larger penis. So it's kind of I know it's an illusion, but And then there's all that extra hair on the face and all, but then I stopped dating Italian women. You ever date someone and then bam, gay? But I'm straight again. Oh, that's all they did. Okay, so this is my favorite comedy club, the Kelly Center in Haverhill. It's great. Havertown, yeah, Havertown, gateway to Hollywood. I've worked all over, but really, when you have the Kelly Community Center on your bio, the jobs just start pouring in. You pretty much can say you made it. By the way, Havertown is a great place to live if you never want to do anything. I looked up on their website the 10 best things to do when you're in Havertown, and there were only 3 things on the list, and 2 of them were Wawas. By the way, I don't know if you know this, but the Indian word for Havertown is. But it's nice though. You applaud here. I played in Kensington last night, and they applaud like this, and like they can't see their hand. It's really stiff. Well, yesterday was a trip though. When I was in Kensington, I smoked a lot of pot. I'll tell you how much. I walked into an Olive Garden, and I thought I was in an Italian restaurant. You get it? That's it. Okay, on there's riddle. What does a man with a 10-inch penis have for breakfast? Well, yesterday I had waffles and a cheese omelet. Okay, it was a bad day too yesterday. Everything happened yesterday for these jokes. I found out I can't have children anymore. At least that's what my gynecologist said. But the fact is, I did have 3 children until their parents found where I was hiding them. That's my favorite pedophile joke. I'm not. So. Anyway, I want to get something off of my chest. Do you ever tape like the Eagles game? You know, because you can't watch it right away. You don't have to answer that. So anyway, I did. You know, I had to work and last week, and so I taped the game, and I was really careful not to talk about it with anybody or listen to any radio and all that. Because, you know, I'm trying to save it for the TiVo game. Tell me if this ever happened to you. So I get home after all that, and I get home, and there's my wife blowing the gardener. Okay, you like guitar? You like Billy Joel?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What's your favorite Billy Joel song?
Piano Man?
Piano Man.
Yeah.
Nah, never heard of it. I'm not familiar with that. I'm sure it's very good, but anything else? No other Billy Joel song? What is it? Summer Highland Falls. I don't think that's a song. Themes from it. Let me tell you about that one. It was really the Olive Garden that they made that joke. So anyway, yesterday I had my first menage a trois. The other 2 didn't show up, but I had a great time. That's a very smart joke. You have to know French and math to do it. All right, instead tonight I'm going to talk about contradiction, but not this evening. Smarter joke. That was even a smarter joke, and you didn't laugh. All right, so I want to give a tip for any of you couples here, and this is really for the guys, and I guess guys over 50. If you're over 50, remember possibilities? Okay. So anyway, I was out yesterday with my wife, and we were at a club. This joke, I have a wife. And we were at a club, and she had a little bit too much to drink. And she said, if I said it was okay, who would you like to have sex with? And I wasn't going to answer that. I said, why would I want to have sex with somebody other than the woman I've been with for over 27 years? And she said, no, I'm saying it's okay. And so I don't know, Beyonce, And she said, no, it's got to be somebody that's real, that it could happen with. And I said, I don't know, your sister? And that wasn't the right answer. I tried to save it. I said, no, your younger, prettier sister. So we're not together anymore. But she's dating other guys, and now I have this blow-up doll. And it's really nice. I got it used from Craigslist. Cleaned it up real good. And anyway, her name is Dominique. Well, I'm sorry. It was Denise. I changed it to Dominique. And you'll find that most women do not like when you change their names during sex. I found this out. Like, for example, what's your name? Diane. Okay, that's good, Diane. So tonight, instead of Dominique, I'll have her name be Diane. But I got to check first to see if it works. So I don't want to rush. Diane. Yeah, that'll work fine. So anyway, I'm there and I'm banging Diane. I mean, I'm hitting her really hard, and I can tell that she really likes it because she starts going. And then I realize I don't have a condom on. But it's all right. I like wearing condoms. In fact, I wear one against disease, one against pregnancy, another for color, another one for texture. I wear 4 of these things at the same time. I don't wear them for protection. I wear them for bulk, because I understand that you're like, okay, before I go. Wait a minute. I wrote this book. I really did. It's called Great Failures of the Extremely Successful: Mistakes, Adversity, Failure, and Other Stepping Stones to Success. And I personally interviewed a lot of high-profile, highly successful people about how they were able to deal with obstacles in life, tragedies, things that a lot of other people might have stopped, and they went ahead and they pushed through it. And I interviewed people like Jane Goodall, Teddy Pendergrass, Steve Allen, Betty White, Tony Curtis, and a lot more. And they pretty much said the same thing. That if no matter what anybody else tells you, if there's something you really want to do, you go ahead and you push through and do it. This is a true story that Beethoven was told when he was a little kid that he could never play music because he was deaf. But did he listen? No. I have no idea. It was a very long time ago, and there was no recording devices. But the point is that you are supposed to, if there's something that you have in your heart, you have a passion, and you go, it doesn't matter what other people tell you. And before I go, there is just one paragraph that I think is really important. If you don't mind, I'd like to read it. Wow. That is so important. So anyway, I'll be selling these. I really will, and selling them for $10 a piece at the end of the show. And if you want them signed, $75. But it's a really good signature. So anyway, I have to get off, and it sounds get off. It sounds bad, but what I meant is I have to go home and masturbate. Thank you. Good night.
Oh, keep that going for Steve Young. Him and his Judi Dench fantasies tonight. I'm now going to redo everybody's jokes. Buckle up. No, we're not going to do that, guys. We have one amazing comedian for you left, guys. He's outstanding. I love every time I get to share the stage with him. He's actually an amateur boxing champion. So if y'all think you're going to step up like Will Smith, you better back down now, all right? Now he actually, aside from doing comedy, he's also done about 10 different boxing documentaries. You can check them out on his YouTube channel. You're going to love him. Please give it up for Xander Hobson!
Keep clapping, please. That's what I'm talking about. Give it up for one of three black guys. Yeah. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here because COVID hit me really, really hard. Both of my brothers died, and I lost my wife, man. Now, the crazy thing is, right, one of my brothers was an atheist, and the other one was a Muslim. And I'm just wondering, man, if they're wrong, they're catching a lot of hell right now, you know? Yeah. And I look around this room, and I see all these couples. And when I first came in, you know, I'm literally sitting over there against that wall, man, fighting back tears, man. Because I lost my beautiful, beautiful wife, my friend. But I had to lose her fucking ass, man. She was running through my money. You know what I mean? Ordering all kind of cable shit, shopping in Macy's and Bloomingdale's, man, eating up all the fucking cereal. I had to lose her. You know? Shit. What I discovered, for real, my wife was cheating on me with my money, man. I didn't like it, you know? Because my money was hanging out in places that it normally didn't hang out at. It was hanging out at the Gucci shop. It was hanging out at the coat shop. Now, my money, man, it normally hangs out at the farmer's market, Home Depot, and occasional strip club, you know? So, yeah, man, that was, but I miss her, you know what I mean? Because my wife was my friend, and we outgrew each other. And that's the saddest part, you know? If I'd have came home and caught her with a foot of dick down her throat, then, you know, it would be easy to get over her. But it was just, we separated and we went our separate ways, and that's my friend, man. That's some serious shit. Matter of fact, right, I was talking to Jay Yoda. I was telling Jay how much I miss my wife, man. And Jay said, now, wait a minute, Xander. I know your wife. She's a pretty nice woman. She's forgiving, man. Why don't you apologize and go back home? I said, I don't miss her that much, Jay. But his heart was in the right place, man. The Phillies made it to the World Series, huh? Yeah, they made it to the World Series, man. Well, when I think about baseball, right, I think about the fact that I don't eat pussy, you know? And the thing about it is, right, I've been doing a lot of dating, you know? And these women are always pretty upset when they find out that I don't eat pussy. One woman said to me, she said, why don't you eat pussy? I said, for the same reason Barry Bonds doesn't bunt. I'm a home run hitter, you know? So you can't be eating pussy when you're a home run hitter, you know what I'm saying? But the COVID thing was rough, ma'am. I see you sitting there with that mask on. Let me tell you this, man. That mask will not protect you from COVID, and let me tell you why. If a pair of pants and some drawers won't protect you from smelling a fart, it's not going to protect you from COVID, you know? But COVID, it was a blessing and a curse, you know? Now, I'm going to tell you the main blessing that came out of COVID, man. A black man could walk down the street with a mask on and nobody fuck with him. Prior to the COVID, a black guy caught all kind of hell if he was wearing a hoodie, you know what I mean? But when COVID kicked in, you could see a black man walking down the street with a mask on and nobody bothered this guy. Let me tell you how serious it was, man. You know that an old white lady held the elevator for me, man, and she got in the elevator. Put that goddamn light off. I just got started. Knock it the fuck off with that goddamn light. I got on the elevator with an old white woman with a mask on. Could you believe that shit? Now, shit, before the COVID kicked off, she'd have seen me, she'd have shut that door. Let me tell you how serious it was.
I was walking in the bank with a mask on, right? And would you believe a police officer was coming out and he held the door for me? A black man with a mask, you know? So, you know, those were some interesting things that took place during the time of the COVID. And, you know, it was a blessing, man. What's your name, sir? Garrett. Do you know what wives and hurricanes have in common, sir? They both scream when they come and they both take the house when they leave, you know? Yeah, man. That's how it is, man. And so that you all will know, it's Xander J. Hobson, stand-up comedian and entertainer, director and producer of boxing documentaries, and internet troll to those who need internet trolling. You know? But I've done a little bit of boxing. You know, I don't know how many of you guys follow boxing, but I've done it, right? I don't know how many of you know the great Bernard the Executioner Hopkins, former middleweight and light heavyweight champion. Yeah. I stood across the ring from him back in 1984, you know. Night of the fight, we down there at Joe Frazier's gym, you know. Ref is giving us our final instructions. And he says, guys, listen, man, I want a nice, clean fight. But before you go back to that corner, I want you to touch gloves. Folks, let me tell you something. When we touch gloves, right, Bernard said something to me that I will never forget to this day. Just as we touch gloves, Bernard said, good luck and good night. So when I woke up, right, I'm back in the locker room. And I say to my coach, I said, Smiley, what happened out there? He said, Xander, it was the damnedest thing, man. I never seen anything like it in my life. When Bernard told you good night, you fainted. Now, I'm going to get ready to get off this phone because that young lady's really pissing me the fuck off with that light over there, right? But before I get out of here, I got to tell you about some near-death experiences. I got to tell you about the fact, right, that I am a Marine Corps and Pennsylvania Air National Guard veteran and an Air Force retiree. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, before I started entertaining you all, I was keeping you all safe from enemies foreign and domestic. Now, I don't know if I was able to, you know, do such a thorough job, because I see that last guy that came up here on stage. I couldn't protect you from motherfuckers like him, but I tried, you know. But I'm going to tell you, folks, on a serious note, I had some near-death experiences, man. This is some real stuff, all straight stuff, man. Back in 1996, I survived the crash landing in Tazar, Hungary, C-5 cargo plane. In 1990, I fell off the back of a naval vessel into the Indian Ocean. And I was out in that ocean for 18 hours. Could you imagine falling off the back of a naval vessel, man, and when you come up for air, you see your entire fleet sailing away from you? I had a fat chick sit on my face and almost smother me to death. And the only way I got her off me was I bit her. But let me tell you something, folks. The most dangerous experience that I ever had, I was fucking a police captain's wife. And me and her were on our way in the hotel when him and his mistress was on their way coming out. And I heard her say, oh, shit. I said, what's wrong? She said, my husband. I said, my God. I said, what are we going to do? She said, keep walking. Folks, let me tell you something. It was at this point that I learned that women were sharper than men. They lied better than men. And they were better cheaters than men, because when we got an arm length away from this guy, we stopped. And she said to him, you lying, cheating, dirty motherfucker. I finally caught your ass. And I got my lawyer here as a witness. Folks, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you. Xander J. Hobson.
Give that up for Xander J. Hobson. Keep it going. Heck yeah. Girls, you got an education tonight over there on that couch. How about it? The mom's like, what did I do? How do I explain the biting on the ass? I don't know. I'm a teacher. I don't know how to do it either. We didn't get, you guys, what do you think I teach? Gym and health? Yeah, sweetheart. I'll tell the jokes up here, all right? I look like a gym teacher at a cyber school, sweetheart. Now, I'll give you in. I grew up in the 80s, coal mine regions of Scranton, Pennsylvania. So clearly Spanish and Latin. Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah. That's right. Este gringo habla español, so cuidado, all right? Now, I will say my hillbilly uncle was the most supportive. He's like, oh, Jay, that's real good. Spanish and Latin? That means you can talk to the Spaniards and the Latinos. You fight the battles you can win, my friends. And my aunt makes an amazing Thanksgiving spread. Well, I've been Jay Yoder. You guys have been amazing. Give it up for all the comedians you've seen tonight. And before I turn it over to Amanda, aside from your money, which is amazing and should go to this Kelly Center, what you can do for us as comics is if you liked what you saw, you liked what you heard, give us a follow on any social media. From the vibe here, I'm thinking MySpace. But just give us a follow. Any one of us, we'd be happy to talk to you. Give us our names, whatever. We'll do it for you. If you have a flip phone, Garrett, we'll help you out, all right? Well, let's turn it back over to Amanda here at the Kelly Center. Thank you, guys.
All right. Well, thank you, Jay Yoder, Steve Young, Anita Wise, and all of our comics. And thank you to all of you here in the Kelly Center. We appreciate your support and your donations. And if you want to make a donation, one last time, you can put cash in the donation jars. You can use Venmo at Kelly4Music. That's number 4 under the business tab. And for PayPal or credit card, go to kellycenter.org and click contribute. And in the notes, type comedy. Next Friday, we have Danny Murphy's Christmas Star Vocal Competition featuring some of the best singers in the area. He always does a phenomenal job. And an early evening New Year's Eve on the down low with Ben Arnold and his band with Nick Rose. Please tell your friends about the Kelly Center. For info on upcoming events, just go to kellycenter.org and click on Kelly Center events. A special thanks to our sound and video techs, Nick Passio, Katie Yoon, and Nate Drew. Give them a round of applause. And our wonderful volunteer, Nina Harper, back there helping us out. Thank you so much, Nina. On behalf of Tom and Sherry Kelly and Paul and Susan Kelly, thank you for joining us and thank you for your contributions. From the Kelly Center for Music, Arts, and Community in Havertown, Pennsylvania, I'm Amanda. Stay safe, play it forward, and good night. Thank you guys for coming. And thank you for making us laugh, comedians.